Now, you guys know me, coolest high performance coach in the world. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's get right into it. We're talking with Joe Rogan today. It's the JRE. It's episode 1966. I'll give you a timestamp. It's 26 minutes, 21 seconds. What they're talking about right now is something that's been framed as the TikTok bill. It's something to mitigate what TikTok could possibly be doing to the United States as a society, as a digital society, you could even say. The thing about it is that it's not really touching so much on what TikTok does. And it doesn't seem like it's going to result in a ban of TikTok. But it is rather restrictive. Who do you think it's restricting? In all your years, I'm going to let you just throw out some. Who do you think that they're trying to restrict with this bill that they're trying to put into action? Well, if you said the American people, you might be right. Let's get into it.
It's being sold to people as like, this is what's going to stop the bad TikTok stuff.
Right.
But it's like, hey, TikTok is not mentioned in here, so maybe it won't do that at all.
So what does it say?
So this is what, instead of like just going after TikTok, they're making this sweeping act. The Restrict Act is described as a systematic framework for addressing technology-based threats to the security and safety of Americans. That sounds ominous.
Wow.
It grants the Secretary of Commerce the authority to review transactions by certain foreign entities who offer information and communications technologies, products, and services in order to identify, investigate, and mitigate undue and unacceptable risks to the national security of the United States or its citizens. This includes, but not limited to, impact the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy, sabotage or subversion of ICTS in the United States. Boy, that could be interpreted a lot of ways. Interference and manipulation of federal elections, which could mean you're just skeptical or you're gullible and you bought into some conspiracy theories and you're talking about them.
I love that he just brought that up, and I'm sorry to interrupt. This is the way that I avoid copyright restriction. I got to transform this content. But also, the fact that he brought up conspiracy theories. So you could be saying something, right? Or, anybody who has a big megaphone of sorts, maybe a YouTube channel, maybe whatever it might be. And now that's being deemed by, let's just say it how it is. It's being deemed by the left. It's something that the right is saying is being deemed by the left as a conspiracy theory. You keep on saying it. Now you're saying conspiracy theories. You're now potentially interfering with an election because you're saying things that aren't true to the narrative that they're putting out. So this could actually be a law. And this is just part of it. We're not done here. He's not done. Trust me, there's more. This could be something that actually prevents you from speaking out against a narrative that's currently coming out. Put it out there right now. Fed Now is now coming out in July. I just made a video about it before. Fed Now is coming out. Maybe you talk about, the downside of Fed Now and how nobody wanted it, and now that's going against the agenda, and now all of a sudden you're disrupting things. And so you're affecting the digital economy of America now. Slippery, greasy slope this is. But let's keep going.
And instead of just being able to just talk like a nonsense person, you get jacked.
So it's kind of like it's like subverting the press.
Undermining the democratic process to steer policy and regulatory decisions in favor of the strategic objectives of a foreign adversary to the detriment of the national security of the United States. Like, man, this is all so open to interpretation. Like, think of those things. Impact the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy. That's easy to do. You can impact it. What if you impacted it in a positive way? What he's saying, impact it. The digital economy. Like, how do they? What have you done? Do you promote a certain coin and it blows up? Then you just impacted.
What if you stop using eBay?
Yeah, I mean, if someone, like, think about, like, these Bitcoin guys. Like, if Elon posts a Dogecoin image immediately Dogecoin goes up, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that impact the digital economy? So what does that mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what if he says the crypto is bullshit because he believes it? Well, doesn't that impact the digital economy?
Yeah, they could arrest him.
And are they talking about the digital economy that exists now, or are they talking about a centralized digital currency, which is what China does?
Is that what they're saying?
What they want to do?
Are they saying that Elon Musk, it'll be illegal for him to
I don't know what they're
Dogecoin?
saying. The problem is the way that's, I mean, obviously I'm not a lawyer, but the way that's written, scroll back down so I could read that. The way that's written, impact to the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy. And digital economy is included in there. Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. I've never made money digitally.
Yeah, I don't know. But look at this. So this thing, information, communications, technologies, products, or services, right? So this is ICTS. Sabotage or subversion of ICTS in the United States.
What's ICTS again?
So it's information, communications, technologies, products, or services, all right?
Okay.
So in order to identify, investigate, and mitigate undue and unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States. So if you did something that's so subversion.
So they're saying.
So imagine if you said, I think these people are full of shit, and I think, what they're trying to do is gain control of the United States, and I think we should resist that. That would fall into that.
And they're selling.
See, I like how he throws that in there. If you didn't catch it, he's like, if you said, but then he says it out loud to millions of people. I like that. I like the way that's done. But also, just to step in here, the reason, like if you're wondering, because right now he's like, why is it written like that? Why is it written like that? Well, it seems like they're doing the exact same thing that the social media platforms do. Now, what the social media platforms do is they keep what is against the guidelines very vague. And the reason that they keep it vague and it's written a lot like this act is written is so that when you do push the line, they can now take that grayness and they can make it black or they can make it white, depending on who you are and what you're saying. So, a great example was Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, he had no reason. Like, he got deplatformed off everything, even Uber, even Uber Eats. There was no reason for it, but they didn't need a reason because they kept everything so gray, everything so, well, it's this and including this, but not limited to, and this, and you could be impacting. They kept it so vague and convoluted that when he was pushing a line that nobody liked, well, I mean, that went against the agenda, we'll just say, they were able to just look at him and go, okay, you're off everything. And we don't even have to give you a reason. But if it comes to a point where we have to give you a reason, everything's so vague that we could just put you into this slot, this slot, this slot. You did this pretty much. You kind of did this. You kind of did that. And with all these things, we've come to the determination that you can't be here anymore. And that's exactly what this act is doing as well. Now, when he says, like, you could just say, what Joe said about, resisting and everything, it just goes under that. It's like you could just say that as a regular person, but now all of a sudden, let's say you gain some steam and you have, say, 1 million subscribers on any platform. You have a very big microphone, and now you're saying that. Well, now they can go, okay, now we can say that he violated this. Before, when he wasn't really affecting anything, it's whatever. But now that he is possibly going to put a block in front of this agenda that we're trying to execute, now we can take him out. And that's why it's written that way. It's wild. Let's keep going.
Selling it as TikTok is doing this. TikTok is subverting our elections, or TikTok is subverting our economy. So we have to be careful.
They're not even selling it that way. They're not even selling it that way.
These countries are the foreign adversaries that may do bad stuff.
So they're like, it's a risk that they're going to do something bad with this.
Yeah, like they've listed using a VPN as a way to subvert that, which would be
What?
illegal, and you get a gigantic fine, and maybe 20 years in prison.
To use a VPN here? Oh, how do you steal?
Imagine.
How do you steal?
They're going to criminalize that.
Imagine they're going to
Everybody says to get
criminalize
that.
VPNs.
I'm always told to get a
Imagine
VPN.
Yeah,
that.
you should get a VPN.
Potentially criminalizing the use of a VPN service or sideloading to access services blocked from doing business in the United States under the Act, due to the text stating that no person may cause or aid, abet, counsel, command, induce, procure, permit, or approve of the doing of any act that violates the orders issued under the act. What?
It's so confusing.
Bro, they're trying to gain more power. This is creepy. This
It's
is
also-
not good, and I just got to hope that people wise up and don't pass this. Does it seem like this is something they're passing?
I don't know that it's gotten that far. I know it's been proposed.
Do you think there's an order to it where it's like first we bill China as going after Hong Kong and Taiwan. Now we see them as the enemy. Now a business associated with them, we can get rid of that now.
Yeah.
It's something like that. It's definitely something like that. This is a great episode. Anytime you see an episode where it's like Ari Shaffir or like someone that's his friend, like this one's Ari Shaffir and somebody named Big J Okerson. Anytime you see it like that and you think, those are just comedians, that's when Joe takes the time to really talk about things. When he's talking to like a wildlife guy, he's not going to bring anything up. But when he's talking to his friends, he has the freedom to do it, and it just kind of bounces off them. But it gets out to all of us. So anytime you see an episode like this, really dive in because he's going to talk about some stuff. I'm not even halfway through it right now. I'm still grinding through the Michael Schellenberger, just the end of it. But exactly what he just said. It's just about more control. That's all it's about. More control. Because again, like I said in the beginning of the episode, who do you think it restricts? That didn't even sound like it restricted TikTok. Because there's no proof that TikTok's ever going to really affect the digital economy or sabotaging anything or sabotaging an election. I mean, like if you have TikTok or if you've seen a TikTok feed, there's nothing like that going on at all. Not even a little bit. So who's it really for? Is it really for TikTok? Is it really for safety? Yeah. It's always for safety. It's always for liberty. It's always for freedom. It's always for your best interest, it's what's best for you. It's what's best for us. That's what it always is. But anyway, great episode. Again, the timestamp is, let's just say 25 minutes to 32 minutes. You check that out. It's episode 1966. Ari Shaffir and Big J Okerson, JRE. I'm out.